Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of your Brains Coach podcast. My name is Shurina. I'm your host, I'm your Brains Coach, and it is my job here to bring to you all the best, recent, cutting edge, most effective, most useful brain body tools so you could take better control of your brain, so you could make better decisions, create better mental and emotional state, take better actions, and ultimately shape the life experience that you desire. So today, as you guessed, we are talking about hacks for health, for weight loss, for fitness that will allow you to jump into healthier routines as soon as possible, hopefully starting this week. Don't wait for the new year. Start new habits in smaller, manageable ways, but consistent ways today, right now. Carry yourself through the holiday, and it's going to be so much easier to start filling in or checking all the boxes on those new year aspirations, resolutions, and goals. And back to the theme of many episodes of this podcast. First of all, you don't have to start big to start. In fact, it's in your interest, if you're interested in consistency, in following through, to start small. And the second thing, there are ways, smarter ways to go about things like exercise, healthier eating, losing weight, smarter ways than some restrictive, super complex, and very inflexible diet that ultimately fails most of the people because it just doesn't fit your life. And whatever makes you jump through that many hoops will eventually fall out of your life. So let's start with exercise. To jumpstart your exercise program, especially if you are not into exercise, I don't recommend you to go and sign up for the gym and start all these workouts that, yes, you'll do on enthusiasm for, a couple of weeks perhaps, in a good scenario, maybe a month in a super amazing scenario, but then you'll quit. So what I recommend people I work with instead, start figuring out where you can fit in exercise snacks and more steps. So instead of thinking that you need to start working out, and that is actually supported by data that the most return on investment for your health and fitness, especially long term, you get from not working out here and there, but instead making sure that daily you get the brief moments of movements, you get all the steps in, and those are the vitals, that the numbers that we all need to care about more than having to sign up for the gym and doing hour-long workout every day. So one of my favorite hacks for exercise that I teach all of my clients, and eventually, especially if they're busy clients, they give into this idea because they understand, well, I can't really commit to daily gym sessions or other hour and time and energy and sometimes resources and thinking capacity consuming workouts. Instead, I need to figure out a simple way to get to squeeze in more movement into my already overbooked schedule. And so exercise snacks, it's the idea that when you do brief bursts of activity, in the studies, they did research on things like doing chair squats, so sitting, working on your computer, and then getting up and doing 15 squats, so basically brief activity for about 2 minutes, or when it comes to cardio, like running after the bus or running towards, not being late. This activity is done 3 times per day. Actually will contribute quite nicely, will improve cardiovascular health, will improve metabolic health, will prevent all-cause mortality to like a big percentage. They did the studies when, they made people wear pedometers and then followed them up after the initial kind of like study how much of that sporadic movement people did. They followed people up for 8 years. And so what are the outcomes when it comes to all these diseases like heart disease or blood pressure, etc. And what they found is people who had this burst of activities, what then got a nickname exercise snack, did pretty good. and a lot better than people who did not do them, showing that this exercise snacking actually might be quite an effective intervention when it comes to maintaining great health and also your great shape of your cardiovascular system and all of your systems. So exercise snacking, what I recommend to my clients, I actually recommend every 30 minutes. That's also based on NASA data that I got from Joan Vernikus, former director of life sciences department at NASA that I interviewed some time ago. So she said that to prevent all the diseases or negative side effects of sitting, we need to get up, stand up every 30 minutes, a few times, do some movement. And so for most of my clients, I recommend, okay, maybe not every 30 minutes, but every hour or every time you go to the bathroom, do a few squats, do a few jump squats, do a few push-ups, whatever is possible in your environment. Some of my clients got really creative and started doing some curls, bicep curls, some overhead presses. They would literally just have either some barbell with some weight, usually some like easy and lightweight, or they would have kettlebells. They would swing. These workouts actually have also a name, trigger workouts, when you would put a piece of equipment somewhere where you walk often, and every time you see that, you're gonna do either swings or head presses, or maybe you just put a reminder there and you're gonna do squats or push-ups. So do that at least 3 times per day. But again, what I notice, and I also base that on the recommendation from NASA, every 30 minutes to an hour, do some movement. I recommend to my clients 10 squats, do some other movements. If you can do more, but do it frequently, do it consistently, incorporate it in your lifestyle. And then also look for opportunities to add steps. Sometimes you can think and pace from one side of the room to the other. Sometimes you can take calls and stand and pace again. You don't have to be staring at each other on Zoom most of the time. Like, turn on the video and start walking around your room. A lot of my clients do that. When they're on a call, they just, okay, I don't need to be on camera now. Let's just be on audio. And then they start moving around their office. When you are at a bus stop or at a train station, or maybe in the train, and you can do some walking back and forth, then please do. Don't just stand there. When it comes to getting your steps in, it's true. When you go to work, to a supermarket, figure out where you can squeeze in more steps. Parking further, taking the elevator, or getting off elevator a couple of floors earlier, getting back into the elevator, walking first. There are so many opportunities to squeeze in those additional small movements, and after a while you won't even notice how you'll be hitting those numbers of what is recommended, actually 7,500 to 8,000 steps for an individual that is younger than 60, and then somewhere around 5,000 to 6,000 for anyone who is 60 and beyond that. So that is a recommendation based on research on health data. So the takeaway here, I give you a lot of example, is you don't need to start working out, especially if you hate it, to get into better shape and to improve your health dramatically. Fitness snacking or exercise snack. Google it. There are a few articles. I believe it was Scientific American or New York Times that did really good piece on that with research and data. So exercise snacking, do that. My recommendation, if you want to improve your health, your weight, maintain greater fitness, then every hour do some movement. It can be a trigger workout when you put a piece of equipment or just a reminder somewhere in your environment, on the floor, maybe in the living room, in some corridor. Every time you see it, you do your squats, you do your squat jumps, you do your push-ups, maybe you do kettlebell swings, maybe you do press-ups, maybe you do bicep curls. So these are trigger workouts, exercise snacks, and do them as often as you possibly can and see how every single aspect of your health and fitness and weight will improve. Just keep moving, as they say. The second hack, that is for your nutrition, to help you to eat healthier, obviously for health, for recovery, but then also for fitness, for weight loss, for your gut microbiome, for your brain performance. So many things will get better when you get your nutrition on point. Sipping some water, and that is also a crucial aspect of your nutrition. So instead of getting into some diet and trying to follow this restrictive plan, focus on eating the stuff that you need. Focus on adding more. That's my to-go strategy with my most successful clients who lose a lot of weight and then maintain great health and maintain eating and health habits for life. Focus on eating more of the right stuff. One of the aspects of eating the right stuff is eating sufficient amount of protein. I recommend always to shoot for even a little bit more, a little bit on a higher side, to make sure that you don't feel hungry. And when you don't feel hungry, guess what? You're going to be less likely to be reaching out for that snack and have this craving. In fact, in my experience, 15 years plus coaching, your cravings will almost disappear almost immediately when you start eating sufficient amount of the right stuff. And again, protein is one of those things, the most satiating nutrient, the nutrient that is used by your body, by everything, by every single cell for almost every single process. So how much protein do you need? 2 multiply by your body weight in kilograms. 2 multiply by your body weight in kilograms. If you overshoot it, I'm just going to be happy, especially if it's from whole foods, not from shakes. If you do take shakes, make sure that they're without sugar, that they do not become like a candy or a snack. Everything that you tend to overeat also can backfire. So I recommend eat as much of your protein in whole foods and see how your cravings, appetite drop a lot. And with that, you'll start noticing body composition changes as well, especially when you combine them with additional steps and exercise snacking. So protein, eat sufficient amount. Like, there is more and more research and data how amazing this practice is for overall health, well-being, your longevity, your muscle mass, mobility, recovery, etc. So eat enough protein. And the second thing, eat 800 grams or more fruit and vegetables per day without any added sugars, not made into some sort of dessert, preferably chewing that, because chewing also has a profound effect on your satiety. If you put, let's say, 8 bananas in a smoothie, you can probably drink that. But if I tell you to eat those 8 bananas, you'll probably choke on those bananas. Like, I actually ask some of my clients, do the experiment, eat everything in their smoothie? And they're like, I cannot do that. But they can easily drink that with all the calories. Yeah, there are some nutrients, but believe me, chewing your food, most of it will do you more good than drinking that smoothie in most cases. So focus on 2 things for now, for the upcoming year. Getting your protein amount to multiplied by your body weight in kilograms, and getting your 800 grams of fruit and vegetables per day. People would ask me what kind of fruit and vegetables, whatever you can start with. The more vegetables, the better, just because they have lower calories, more vitamins and minerals, usually, but not always, more fiber than fruit per calorie per bite. So, but whatever you can do to get those 800 fruit of vegetables, I usually tend to get about 400 or more of fruit and about 400 grams or so of vegetables per day. I love my fruit, nothing wrong with fruit. Sugar in fruit is not the same as sugar in some dessert. Just also remember that with all the fiber, water, and phytochemicals and vitamins and minerals, fruit is not the same. So focus on eating more of the right stuff. And here I also want to ask you to look in your snacks for improving your weight loss, if you're working on your weight loss and you want to improve your progress, again, don't look into complex diets. Instead, look into how you can make simple changes. Like one of my clients, recently, we were looking at his food diary, and we realized that he was drinking 2 cappuccinos per day, and that was adding about 300 calories into his calorie budget. And instead of trying to figure out what diet to go on where to take out those, calories with nutrients, we're like, how about we try to drink coffee without that milk? How about we switch to black coffee, or maybe like a splash of plain almond milk or some macadamia milk with just a fraction of those calories? And guess what? We did that, and he started losing weight without changing anything else in his nutrition. Look into smaller ways. Those compound a lot. I like to tell my clients to look at the fat percentage of their dairy products if you consume dairy. Like instead of full cream yogurt, eat low fat to no fat yogurt. Instead of a lot of cheese, eat half of it. Instead of eating some protein bar with packed calories, try to go for just dried meat. You'll get the same amount of protein, but you tend to overeat less, if ever, and you get less calories. Look into vegetables and fruit, things like carrot sticks or berries for your snack instead, again, of some candy or bar. Fruit is also sweet, and so you'll hit the craving for something sweeter, but you'll also get less calories and more satiety and more nutrition. So look into all of these smaller ways to improve your nutrition instead of trying to go on some diet which has no need and very hard to sustain in the real world, in the real life. Especially, again, look into those like very tiny ways where you can. Cooking fats, another one. Did you know that just by eliminating cooking fats and instead using water, instead adding dried or fresh herbs and spices with your cooking to make it flavorful, did you know that if you just eliminate cooking oils, you would often find you'll eliminate 200 to 400 calories from your daily nutrition? That will easily allow you to start losing weight again without any complexity. So just think about all of these simple, small ways that I definitely implemented in my life, and I always help my clients to see those small wins that bring all the big benefits. And last but definitely not least, sleep. Sleep will improve your health, all markers of your health, all markers of your well-being, your productivity, your mental, emotional health, your weight loss, your body composition, like how much muscle you carry, how much fat you carry. All of that's going to be improved with better quality of sleep. And what I noticed with my clients is that they compromise sleep a lot of times, not because they work so much, but because, let's say, at the end of the day, and they're finished with work and everything, and they just want to chill before going to bed, because you kind of need that transition time to be able to fall asleep, to have bigger sleeping window to recover better. And so a lot of my clients would end up having some chill activity that actually then steals some of that or a lot of that time from their sleep, like watching Netflix, that's what I'm talking about, or scrolling social media. So instead of that, we're like, well, this is not really a chill activity that doesn't really help you to fall asleep all that well. And you often would end up overdoing it. So what can we do? We can create a sleep routine instead that will help you to transition from wired and working and active to sleep, but without the danger of overdoing it and stealing the quality and the hours of your sleep. And even minutes matter, right? If you can get additional 30 minutes of sleep, that's a lot. So what do? We introduce some sleep routine to transition from the day to night, to chill, to calm the brain down. And yes, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable and you're going to feel at first like you're missing out on your favorite TV shows. But believe me, it's going to work for every single goal of yours this year. And after initial week, maybe a couple of feeling like missing out, you won't even remember that you had this. That's what happens to all of the people who try to rewire their scrolling and their Netflix or TV habits. So what do? Well, we usually commit to a hard stop to our day and to start transitioning into our sleep routine. So if it's 10 p.m., it's 10 p.m. If it's 11 p.m., it's 11 p.m. And then shower helps a lot to transition to no electronics sleep time and environment. So we go take a hot shower. That is important. You get hot and then your body starts cooling down program, which also helps you to fall asleep, that change in temperature. So hot shower for 5 minutes or so. It's also relaxing. You don't have your electronics there and it's a complete change of environment. Make sure that your bathroom is not brightly lit because bright light will kill some of your melatonin that will prevent you from falling asleep. So make sure that the environment is dark, maybe put some candles there, or if you have light dimmer in the bathroom that make it super, super dim, take that shower and then have either listen to some music, some relaxing music, or read to some book, again, some relaxing book, maybe some fiction that doesn't get you too excited. Breath work also works for a lot of my clients. Doing your yoga nidra meditation or similar meditation that calms you down, listening to some guided meditation often helps me and my clients. Doing 5 minutes of breath work, doing some journaling. So those are a couple of activities that we do for the next 5 to 10 minutes. And then you fall asleep. And there is no tendency to overdo those activities. It's not like you're going to stuck on your meditation for 30 minutes more than you planned. And then your brain will be in much better state to fall asleep faster, to transition into deeper states of sleep easier. The whole quality of your sleep when done consistently like this will improve the depth of your sleep, the amount of cycles, the quality. So the hack for your sleep improvement is, instead of Netflix or scrolling time, introduce a sleep routine and see how your sleep improves. And with that, all of your health markers and goals, and also the quality of your life in general. And that's it for today. So we talked about hacking exercise. We talked about hacking nutrition, hacking weight loss, hacking sleep. With all of these tools, folks, introduce them maybe one at a time or a set of hacks for a week. Take them, introduce them, make them consistent. If you have any questions, please reach out, Angela@brainbreakthroughcoach.com, Angela@brainbreakthroughcoach.com. More than happy to do a free strategy session where I'm going to help you to create your own program of hacks and maintenance of health 360. So just go to brainbreakthroughcoach.com/free session. That's available to all of you, brainbreakthroughcoach.com/free session. Go get your session or start scheduling these hacks and see how the consistency in small and doable things will compound over the course of months and year, and see how your whole life is going to be transformed because of that. Small things, the right things done consistently, have transformational effect beyond your wildest dreams and imagination. Hope you found this useful. Please stay tuned for the rest of the week. We have a book study, PAR method, how to outsource your brain so you lose your overwhelm and instead get use of all of your learnings and experience in such a more profound way to be a one-of-a-kind expert or entrepreneur to get to create one of a kind of success. And then on Wednesday, I'm not sure exactly when we're going to do book study and the goal setting session. So everything, all the best in neuroscience, psychology, research about goal setting. Set your goals to achieve them. All that is coming this week as well. So stay tuned and don't forget to bring friends and people. Screenshot share over WhatsApp the link to the podcast episodes. Let's all together get better in all of the things that are important to us. So share, rate, review us, and thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. Thank you for working on yourself. The world is getting better because of you. So thank you and have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you very soon.